Well, thanks, Jack. Jack Skellington just had to beat me to the punch. He mentioned it already, but I'm going to go ahead and say, Happy Holidays, everyone! TK here for Theme King TK, and I do come to you from the spooky study. And I must say that I hope that everyone watching had a very merry, and in this case, scary Christmas. Because if you look at the spooky study, you might be thinking to yourself, TK, it's got to be really hard when Halloween ends, and you got to pack up all that stuff, and you got to make way for Christmas. When the Monster Mash stops playing and Mariah Carey takes over. Well, I say, no, not so fast, my friends, because I do love the holidays. I do love Christmas time. I'm decked out here in my Jack Skellington sweatshirt. He's got a Santa hat on, and that is a good example of how you can have a little creepy in your Christmas. I love just a little dash, not of deadly nightshade or frog's breath or worm's wort, but just a dash of spooky with my Santa. And that's okay. And it might be easier than you think to accomplish that. And I'm here to show you some strategies on how you can take some of those Halloween decorations and extend their life a little bit. Keep them out a few extra months before, in my case, they come back up here to the spooky study. But during Halloween and Christmas time, they're out there in the main halls, haunted halls of my home. And if you think about it, creepy and Christmas go hand in hand way back. I mean, think of classic songs like The Most Wonderful Time of the Year. It's the most wonderful time of the year, in which it says, there'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. Did you hear what I said there? Ah, there'll be scary ghost stories. So there you have it, creepy and Christmas. So I have been very busy, well, you know, making Christmas. All right, let's get started. A lot of my decorations are heavily influenced by Haunted Mansion Holiday at Disneyland, and you can see that they get a lot of mileage by simply putting Santa hats on jack-o'-lanterns. That's exactly what I've done here. These jack-o'-lanterns were here during Halloween time, but you don't have to pack them up, don't have to put them away. Just slap some Santa hats on there, and they can stay out through Christmas time. And then as you look at the fireplace, this fence was from Spirit Halloween, and it really fits the Nightmare Before Christmas look, as if you take a close look there, it has got a jack-o'-lanterns in there. It's a pumpkin-themed fence. Continuing up the fireplace here, this has become a really fun tradition every year. You see this portrait of Santa Jack. And of course, this after he tries to take over someone else's holiday. But on the flip side is the Pumpkin King. So you have the Pumpkin King out during Halloween time, and then simply flip it over, and you've got Santa Jack through the holidays, through Christmas. Just a fun tradition and another way to keep these decorations up for months at a time. Heading up the fireplace here, what would a Nightmare Before Christmas fireplace be without a monster wreath? Again, heavily influenced from Haunted Mansion Holiday. Just take a look. Digging in a little deeper now into the mantle, you know, you've got this monster wreath. That was from Spirit Halloween, and then just added some garland draped down on both sides. That was just simply from Walmart. This Jack Skellington stocking from Target. Fun little Easter egg. You got the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in there as a stocking stuffer. And you've got these spiders, you know, on the outside of the mantle. Again, just keeping that kind of gothic look. And no elf on a shelf here, but there is a Drac on the rack. I bid you welcome. Zero! Speaking of Zero, there is Jack's skeleton dog reindeer. You could even put tape a candy cane to his mouth. I've done that before. More on this guy later, this white pumpkin. But as we continue around, you keep the Halloween vibes going with Little Boo there from Halloween Horror Nights. So Universal's got to get some love as well. And here we see Dracula and Frankenstein. And we're here for Halloween with these lanterns, but then they get these fancy glittery bow ties. And then heading up here, we've got, not really part of the display, but in the Christmas spirit as well, is Davy Jones. They do tell tales of Christmas as long, long ago. Are you afraid to get coal in your stocking? Ha ha ha. When you think of Davy Jones, you think of the Kraken, and so these Kraken tentacles fit right in as well. And here you see Vampire Teddy, this skull, and this Jack Skellington Santa hat that kind of make a cool looking little totem there. If we pan across, you can see that there's another Kraken tentacle there flanking on the other side of the TV with the skull tiki torches across the front of the TV. More of those pumpkin fences adorned with some Christmas lights. Here we can see this cool little jack-o'-lantern pedestal. That was from Spirit Halloween, as was Oogie Boogie. And both those were bought after Halloween when everything was 50% off. So if you can, wait around and be patient, you can get good deals on all this stuff. Some tombstones. And here you've got barrel, lock, shock, and some more jack-o'-lanterns. Another jack-o'-lantern tower. And then here we have this jack-o'-lantern kind of impaled on the gate. A little homage to the beginning of Nightmare Before Christmas.
How about it? Think you can manage? A 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a... Next.
That clip was a good introduction that music plays a huge role in Nightmare Before Christmas, and that's not lost on this display. But let's take a look here at this coffee table. You've got, candle burning in the middle. You have this pumpkin mat that you could probably get, at a Michael's or any party store during fall time. And then some Funko Pops. You got Oogie Boogie, little Haunted Mansion Lego set that my son built, and a music box there. And here, and what I like is you have kind of that dichotomy of Halloween. You got the Halloween music box with the Pumpkin King there on fire, and then you got the transition here with Santa Jack, Zero with a candy cane, and then this Christmas snow globe and music box there when Jack is caught by the little boy and says, "Oh, I've got something for you anyway." And then you've got the mayor there looking pretty exciting, as if to say, "This Christmas sounds fun. I fully endorse it. Let's try it at once." Or perhaps he's less optimistic and he says, "I knew this Christmas was a bad idea. I could feel it in my gut. The Pumpkin King has been blown to smithereens." So fittingly, this Halloween music box plays a little music box version of This Is Halloween. And then, not to be outdone, this other Christmas snow globe plays. What's this? Be very, very quiet, or Jack will get in on the singing as well. This pumpkin is sound activated, and I have it left on a lot of times and I forget. And then all of a sudden, if you put a glass down or there's some sort of loud, sudden noise, it will come to life and sings Jack's lament. Let's see. Kind of like the tiki room when you say, "Wake up, Jose." Let's see if we can wake up Jack. You ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wake up, Jack.
There are few who deny it. What I do, I am the best for my talent.
So you can see here, it's, projected from the inside and very cool. Not cool if when it comes to surprises in the moonlit night. He surprises you if you leave this thing on. Now, the funny thing about this is even if you turn it off, Jack will continue to sing and finish this portion of the song no matter what. So he commands respect for his performance.
When the very bravest stomp her feet,
The mayor gets in on the musical mischief as well. If you give him a little pinch on his hand, you've got a little instrumental version of This Is Halloween. And this guy's really fun. You can see he's got his little mayor ribbon, the spider tie. And he's just rocking out to This Is Halloween. And also kind of a fun tradition. See, look at that. I'm talking too loud. There goes Jack. Just thanks for interrupting, Jack. But let's see how the mayor ends up. Is he going to be happy or terrified by the proceedings of Christmas? Let's see. Busy Jack. Okay, looking happy right now. Hey, what do you know? All right, you must have liked Jack singing. When you think of the Haunted Mansion, you also think of the stretching room. Are these haunted walls actually stretching, or is it your imagination? And consider this dismaying observation. This chamber has no windows and no doors, which leaves you with this chilling challenge to find a way out. Of course, there's always my way. Well, here, this is how I do it my way when it comes to Christmas and the stretching room banners. Check these out. You have the quicksand, and but instead of the gentleman, you've got lock, barrel, and shock there stacked up. And these right under my big kind of tiki skull mask, which also fits. And then you've got Jack sitting on the tombstone, but his dearly beloved just so happens to be Zero. Lots of references to Zero here. And but again, just a take on the stretching room portraits. Instead of the alligator, you have the Nightmare Before Christmas snake. And here on the tightrope, of course, you have Sally. And then you've got Oogie Boogie. Look at this. Standing on the big barrel, not to be confused with this guy, big barrel of explosives. Well, are you trying to make a dupe out of me? I forgot to mention those stretching room banners, like $30 on Amazon. And I also found these banners on Amazon as well. You've got Sally here looking, over lovingly in admiration of course, Santa Jack here, who looks like he's up to no good, even though he's making the heart sign. He loves taking over holidays. And some good detail on these. You can see at the bottom there. You got Santa down there. Oogie Boogie. And these things are tall. Here, let me kind of step back. And these, again, on Amazon for about $30. So a good find and really helps wreck the halls. So obviously the citizens of Halloween Town make some interesting toys when they're, making Christmas. And this is my take on the jack-o'-lantern Jack-in-the-Box here. This is a Spirit Halloween Gordo animatronic. Just added that bow, wrapped it in some black Christmas paper. And of course, it wouldn't be a Jack-in-the-Box if it didn't have that pop-up action. But don't worry, boils and ghouls, I've got you covered. And there you have it, that desired effect accomplished there. So, lots of Christmas treats, but certainly still some Halloween tricks. And of course, the tree itself has to keep that creepy Halloween color scheme and look at this. You've got a gargoyle from Haunted Mansion. I love that. This one with the flickering lights. When candlelights flicker and the air is deathly still. And there you've got Jack up there at the top. And the whole thing topped off with this Pumpkin King tree topper. And you've got, look at that. You've got the Disney Headless Horseman from The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. We'll look at more of the ornaments here in a second. But why is this tree so Halloween themed and creepy? And it's because it was probably decorated by that guy. Here we've got, this is really cool. You can see it's just a hanging decoration. This was from Walgreens. Again, a little over $30. But I mean, when you take a step back, he's about 6 feet tall. It looks like you've got a really legit Santa Jack figure back there. He's holding the Christmas lights. This is another one you got to be careful of, though. Another one that if you leave on, because he is also sound activated, and he might just get you in the middle of the night, because we got some rain lately, and I think when the rain was hitting, because he's really close to this sliding door out to a balcony, I think it triggered him in the middle of the night. This is exactly what I heard at about 2 in the morning. The lights were flashing, the music was going, Jack was wrecking the halls. So again, if you have something like this in your home, unless you want the Pumpkin King to live up to that billing and give you a fright in the middle of the night, maybe turn it off when you turn off the tree at the end of the night. But let's take a look back here at the tree, even underneath, just some fun Easter eggs. I was a full-on Ghostbuster for Halloween this year. So we take a look at that, and man, what a fun costume that was. But I love the Proton Pack so much. This one from HalloweenCostumes.com. Let's hear this thing fire up here if I can reach back and get to it. The cyclotron is cycling. How awesome is that? And we'll go ahead and fire it back down. But now we'll take a closer look at some of the ornaments, but also, again, under the tree here, just some fun things as if they were the presents. You got Ghostbusters Trap there. Winged Eagle WWE title. That was from a couple years back when I was the Macho Man Randy Savage for Halloween. Ooh, yeah, the Macho Man Randy Savage, yeah. Coming to you right in the video scope, and I am the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion, yeah, forever and a day, Also, if we look closely, you've got a little Dracula under the tree. I must have invited him in. Got Wolfman, part of the festivities, and here you've got Creature from the Black Lagoon, and winding around here, you've got the Ghostbusters Ecto-1. So even some kind of fun spooky presents under the tree. All right, let's tour the ornaments here. Again, you've got Jack at the top. You've got the gargoyle, which you can push a button here and he'll, flicker there for a little while and then turn back off. Of course, Zero's got to be up near the top. You've got Creature from the Black Lagoon. Look at even little hidden things like little Mayor here. I really have to look. Talked about the Headless Horseman. And then some really cool Nightmare Before Christmas ornaments there. You've got Jack, Sally. Here you've got the hitchhiking ghost. Do you know their names? I bet you do. What are their names? All right. If you don't know, I'm going to tell you. You got Ezra there is the tall one. Gus is our little bearded friend. And the kind of portly fellow is Phineas. So if you didn't know, now you know. But some other things here, you've got Jurassic Park Raptor, Slimer, some more Ghostbusters references, went heavy on Ghostbusters this year. And then here we've got Barrel. This was an ornament set that one of my friends, Lisa, gave me that I've really cherished for years. My son and I have. You got the Mayor there. And there is Shock, little Pirates of the Caribbean action. And let's see what else we can find here. Just an old school reindeer, like from our family tree growing up. And then, you can kind of go with some of the purple. You can see just kind of bulb ornaments to keep that feel. You see these purple snowflakes. I'm sure Locke is around somewhere. Here is a reference to the Enchanted Tiki Room. Down here, this is cool. This is, let's see if we can see it, like the caretaker from Haunted Mansion. Here we go. He's all the way back here. Here's Locke. This one's cool. The Amity Island help shark when they deface the sign. But if you, see if it'll do it. Sometimes, if you move, see, it'll go back to like the normal billboard. Kind of hard to get on camera, but if you go up and down, it'll kind of switch back and forth. Back here, we saw the stretching room portrait. Here is a reference to the the quicksand scene from the stretching room. And then all the way back here, you got a little Jack hiding out. How about Beetlejuice? Ghost with the most, babe. Another tiki room, little reference there. And I'm sure there's even more stuff in there if I really, really dug in there to scour and take a look. But, you know, presents under the tree, themed ornaments, kind of the purple and orange color scheme. Lots of fun. And of course, you've got the master of ceremonies himself, Jack Skellington, right back there in the middle of the action. This guy is new for this year, this little Jack figurine with the Christmas lights. This came from Walgreens. Walgreens really has some cool nightmare stuff. This like spiral tree is just something that we had laying around and really fits the Nightmare Before Christmas look. I mean, it's very Burton-esque. And then I love this too. So I just wrapped this pot in some nightmare paper. Feed me, what could it be? Look at this, we got the man eating plants. And just put some bows on them. And again, kind of a little reference to Haunted Mansion Holiday.
Nothing here was forgotten. It all looked so pleasant. A coffin dances. Makes a fine Christmas present. A man eating plants makes a wonderful green light.
As you might have noticed from the tiki room ornaments on the tree, my place is oftentimes kind of decorated very tiki-esque because, you know, I'm in Southern California here. So here you can see these tiki here, but up here, even the gargoyle is in the Christmas spirit with a Santa hat. And up here, these haunted busts, you got a vampire there and a ghoul also wearing a Santa hat. And by the way, while we're talking, one of my favorite words in the English vocabulary, ghoul. So speaking of the tiki bar vibes, here you can see some more. You might be like, well, that's not spooky. Well, how about this? You got Jack Skellington here, ready for the beach. You've got Zero with his frisbee. And this, new for this year, is the Christmas version of the zombie mug from Trader Sam's. And you also have, you've got Sally there ready for a day at the beach. I think, you know, she could definitely use some color. In the kitchen also have some just spooky mugs. This, of course, the jack-o'-lantern from Halloween there. You can see the knife pattern there. Michael Myers, Creature from the Black Lagoon, this cool Monsters glass from HHN. You got Jack the Clown peering back there. I love that you've got this Creature from the Black Lagoon hand, which is a back scratcher. And since it's in the kitchen, I guess if you had two of them, they could honestly be salad tongs. And then if you pan up, I've got this canvas I had made at CVS that's got some pictures from my first trip to Dark Universe. So there's my son with Igor, the Burning Blade Tavern, such a cool place, meeting the monster and the bride. And just in front of Frankenstein's Manor, they're in the coffin as well. There's Frankenstein's Manor at night all lit up. With the Hunter's garlic steak in my hand. My son with a Curse of the Werewolf hat on and outside the portal. So if you like all things spooky, you got to try and get to Epic Universe and Dark Universe. Also in the kitchen, not necessarily related to Christmas, but I've got a lot of Irish stuff because I am primarily Irish and Italian, and so some fun, just spooky stuff as well. Here you got the Leprechaun, of course, Warwick Davis, a little Funko Pop there in with the Irish stuff. And you might be wondering, what's this guy doing here? Well, that is little Sam Hain from the real Ghostbusters. So why with the Irish stuff? Because he was the Celtic ruler of Sam Hain, or Samhain as it's really pronounced, which is kind of the ancient Irish origins of Halloween. So that's why he's hanging out. You might be thinking, why do you have a trick-or-treat pail out if Christmas season was just here? Well, you know, another thing you can keep out, because I just hang some candy canes off of it, and then inside kind of keep coffee. You got some hot chocolate mix, and oftentimes peppermint bark and other Christmas candies, which must have eaten. This is actually the top of the box of those Nightmare Before Christmas ornaments, but it kind of looks cool here just as a display. Santa Jack up there. You've got the mayor and Hearst's popcorn bucket from Disneyland. You've got Sally's, Frog's Breath and Deadly Nightshade, Worm's Wart, and this Santa Jack Geeky Tiki. Well, if you had Santa Jack on one side, you got to have that balance, right? So here we have a Geeky Tiki of the Pumpkin King, in his kind of scarecrow form before he lights himself on fire. You got Jack here doing the scary face. Behemoth is a nutcracker. And then this old school kind of Halloween cat, which I got for like under $6 after Halloween at Walmart. So just kind of more things to just round out some of the decor. My Christmas baking is even spooky. This pan from Walmart, jack-o'-lantern pan. And here's, what it looks like when they're face down. But when you flip them over and a little frosting, you get these awesome pumpkin bread, muffins. And that Libby's mix makes 6 pumpkins and a full loaf. Got these pumpkin lanterns hanging here from, a kitchen table light. And just another thing that you don't have to necessarily put away after Halloween because they, kind of hang like Christmas ornaments. Again, you got Jack and Sally there, so it just kind of ties it all together. That's a very creepy mask that I actually got in South Africa. But then again, very tiki stuff, but just dressing it up with a little bit of nightmare, these little tiny piñatas that I got from a party store. So just some more stuff to where you got a little theming no matter where you look. And then you've got these old school kind of paper ornaments. These were from Party City. Rest in peace. But hopefully you can find something similar somewhere. And then these I added are new this year. The lock, shock, and barrel mask hanging right above their counterparts. These masks were from Spirit Halloween. And again, pro tip, got these after Halloween when everything is 50% off. So I want to say they were right around $7 a piece. And I think, when you hang them like that and then you've got those ornaments, something that could be up Halloween and Christmas, either or both, and pretty cool. Krampus is coming to town, and I wish he would return. I wish they would bring the HHN maze back to Universal Studios Hollywood of Krampus one of these days. But I think I'd rather Krampus come to town at Christmas time rather than Mariah Carey and All I Want for Christmas. However, I do hope the Krampus doesn't trap me inside a snow globe. This little coffin, this little guy, kind of fun. This is from NECA. And when you push this button, you'll see what happens here. Jack springs into action to the delight of the creatures of the night from Halloween Town. Even the Gill Man is caught up in the festive Christmas spirit. Even the bathrooms got some cool nods to Nightmare Before Christmas. Here you can see these little bathroom towels here with Jack and Sally on the spiral mountain with this classic just haunted house towel. I don't know if you can see it with the glare, but this is a portrait of, there we go, that's better, the Hatbox Ghost. And then this is a map kind of Halloween Town. So you can see you got Oogie Boogie's lair and the treehouse, the Hinterlands, which is where the holiday trees are. You've got Town Square, Finkelstein's lab, Jack's house, the graveyard, Spiral Hill. So pretty cool. And down here you've got this All Hail the Pumpkin King sign. Both this sign and this map were both from Spirit Halloween. And so there you got the Halloween vibes. And then up here, you've got this like fake newspaper article of how horrible our Christmas will be. The Pumpkin King goes full Kringle. And I like that. You got, who is that? Standing on Spiral Hill. And then a little sub-article about Zero and his heroics. This came from Hot Topic. All right, and finally, this display has become a holiday tradition as well. Kind of set up this whole display just with some cotton snow. I put some just bowls, like kitchen bowls, upside down to kind of get the elevation back there. This tree is from, I think, Walgreens originally. And then this display made up mostly of these Hallmark keepsake ornaments that are really tethered together and will put on almost a full performance of Nightmare Before Christmas. I'll give you a little taste of that here in a minute, but you've got Jack, Sally, Lock, Shock, and Barrel, Santa, and Oogie Boogie. And then just to kind of fill in, you can see some other things that aren't the ornaments, but the mayor there, a vampire. What type of sound is that for a baby to make? And then one of my favorite characters there, the werewolf or wolfman. Isn't it terrifying? And then if we go around again, you can take a look at the tree here. And then you've got a witch back there. And then I want to say his name is Harlequin, but this guy's great. He's a great hat maker. And then a couple of the ornaments aren't tethered. And this one is from, the Haunted Mansion set. So these are the singing bus, if I can push the button. All right, and then Dr. Finkelstein also isn't tethered to the other Nightmare ornaments, but he does talk and does some of his lines. Here.
Ah, what's that? Wormswort. And frog's breath.
And he's got a couple. Well, nothing's more suspicious than frog's breath.
You've poisoned me for the last time, you wretched girl.
But the other ones, are all tethered together, with these plugs and adapters. And so they will all interact and, like I said, kind of perform in a bridge version of Nightmare Before Christmas. So give you a little taste of that here. And you just, hit Jack or one of the ornaments and it'll go into the performance. So let's see. So here you can see kind of the musical intro. And then Jack will start, singing Jack's lament. He's so tired of the same old thing and the sound of screams. And then he'll go on to kind of interact with the characters, as you'll see here.
Jack, I know how you feel.
I think this Christmas thing is not.
And then Jack starts to scheme to take over Christmas time, because after all,
But me, why, I could make a Christmas tree, and there's no reason I couldn't handle Christmas time. I bet I could improve it too, and that's exactly what I'll do. Eureka! This year, Christmas will be ours!
Jack sent for us.
get a little lock, shock, and barrel action.
Barrel.
Halloween's finest trick-or-treaters. The job I have for you is top secret. It requires craft, cunning, mystery.
And we thought you didn't like us, Jack. Kidnap Mr. Santa Claus?
I want to do it.
Let's draw straws.
Sally, I need your help more than anyone.
You certainly do, Jack. I had the most terrible vision.
That's splendid.
No, it was about your Christmas. There was smoke and fire.
That's not my Christmas. My Christmas is filled with laughter and joy.
Jack, please listen to me. It's going to be a disaster.
What a pleasure to meet you. What? Why, you have hands. You don't have claws at all.
Where am I?
Surprised, aren't you? Consider this a vacation. vacation, Sandy.
But there must be some mistake. Me on vacation? On Christmas Eve? Haven't you heard of peace on earth and goodwill toward men?
Now!
Well. What have we here? Santa Claus, huh? Ooh, I'm really scared.
No, Zero. Down, boy. My, what a brilliant nose you have. The better to light my way. To the head of the team, Zero.
It's never too big heart, for I am not the one.
They're celebrating. They're thanking us for doing such a good job. Whoa! Careful down there. You almost hit us. They're trying to hit us. Zero! Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night!
Forget about luck, ragdoll. Bye-bye, doll face. What the?
Hello, Oogie.
Jack, but they said you were dead. You must be double dead.
How dare you treat my friends so shamefully?
Now look what you've done. My bugs, my bugs, my bugs, my bugs.
Forgive me, Mr. Claus. I'm afraid I've made a terrible mess of your holiday.
Bumpy sleigh ride, Jack. The next time you get the urge to take over someone else's holiday, I'd listen to her. She's the only one who makes any sense around this insane asylum.
I hope there's still time.
To fix Christmas? Of course there is. I'm Santa Claus.
Where we can gaze into the stars and sit together now and forever, for it is plain as anyone can see, we're simply meant to be.
Happy Halloween!
Merry Christmas!
So, while I certainly enjoy Jack and Sally in miniature form, let's end this video by heading out to Disneyland and meeting them in real life. What's up, guys? I wanted to wish you a very scary Christmas.
And you as well, man. I like your style.
Oh, thank you so much.
What's your name?
My name's Todd, and I must say, though, my son's name is Jack.
There's another one of me running around, but with skin. Oh. Is he on the nice list or the naughty list?
He toes the line. Lots of mischief.
You know what? I told the line too. This year, Sally said if you're a good boy, you'll get all your presents. So I've been trying to be nice, but it's so hard.
You are trying.
I am trying.
Yes, for example, instead of stealing things, he asks first.
Yes.
And then takes it.
You're taking some steps, Jack. I love it.
I like your nose. Can I have it?
I'm kind of attached to it.
Dang it.
Literally.
Indeed, I don't have one. I would like to use one. Everybody talks about smells, food, things like that, and I can't sell.
Well, you're the got your nose champion.
And they never gave it back.
What a great experience meeting Jack, the Pumpkin King who tried to take over Christmas after being tired of the same old thing. Scary Christmas, everyone. Well, I think that'll just about wrap things up, so the only thing left to say is, we did it. See you next time on Theme King TK.